Well, hello, good morning, and a very warm welcome to you all from BBRC Britain and English. And I do hope you're having a nice spring. We're well into Lent now, and I'd like to extend a particular welcome to any of you from overseas, and perhaps any of you new subscribers, perhaps who've joined up in the last few months. I know I met a few in London, and I met an Indian lady only the other day that's come to England in the last few days. Well, as I say, we're well into Lent now, and on towards Palm Sunday and Holy Week, culminating with Easter Sunday. Well, on this session, just give you a little bit of an update and perhaps talk about some of the things for the future. Now, I know a lot of people, when they come onto these mediums, talk about politics, they talk about other things, religion, ethics, and all these other things. But sometimes we need to stop and think, perhaps, and those of us who are Christians, devote some time to Christ. Now, I'd like to just give you a quote from the Church of England, and this is for Lent. Living Hope 2025. This Lent we are encouraged to put down deep roots of hope by connecting with God, who is with us in all times. The Church of England's theme this year is Living Hope. In Lent we journey with Jesus on the difficult and thorny road that leads all the way to the cross on Good Friday and beyond to the transformation on Easter Day. Of course, the glorious resurrection. God invites us to bring to him our own journey through everyday life, in the disappointment of daily setbacks and the pain of deeper hurts. We discover that God is present with us, and God promises a future where all things are healed and made new. Living Hope offers us the opportunity to deepen our hope in God and be part of what God is doing to bring hope in the world. And there are some readings. Anyone wants to look at that? Anybody who's interested? You may have your own church, or you may have your own way of devoting some time to Lent and whatever you're giving up for Lent. If you are, that's the churchofengland.org. Living Hope Resources for Lent 2025. Well, thank you for letting me tell you that. We're all challenged on the journey. Some people aren't on the journey, but we've all been given free will by Christ. So, and he will build his church and descend, hopefully, and I'm hoping he'll reveal himself to my family, reveal himself at the toughest times, perhaps, of the life so far, in terms of, as I was saying in last session, about my uncle being in intensive care. Well, I can tell you an update, although not very much information, but he has made minor improvements in the last, say, 2 or 3 weeks. So that's the latest information there. My Uncle John, who, if you may remember, was sadly hit by a stray bear from behind that fell down from above. Well, and thank you if any of you are praying for me as well, and my Uncle John. Thanks for joining me, as I say, and well, on a rather short session today, looking forward towards Easter. I'd just like to say we're well into spring here now. The sun's been out some days here. It's not so bright today, but I think it's slightly cloudy. But I think the sun may be coming out later on today. I'm hoping to give you a few sessions. Perhaps we might even talk about politics, what's happening, and perhaps different religions. We're supposed to be a Christian country. We might look at different religions and different impacts in this country. Some rather controversial. Bit like the politics, really, at the moment. Although, of course, some people say, well, politics is controversial all the time, especially in some parts of the world, without democracy and with some of these leaders and tyrants, shall we say. But anyway, looking forward to spring. Hopefully there will be a few sessions. Certainly April, May, there'll be some more things open up towards for charity and the spring season. Of course, getting later evenings now, and of course there will be a few opportunities for me to do some more videos and perhaps a few shorts. You might have noticed I have put a few shorts up I think the last few, there was a few from Cheltenham Festival, which was the big horse race, biggest one in Cheltenham, and I think it's only second to the Grand National, big horse race, and I think all the horses got through unscathed this year with the riders. Well, thanks very much for joining me here today. Do let me know anything you may be interested in, any topics of interest you may well like to have for me to discuss. And I thought I will go back to doing some words probably in the future. You might not have heard, but I did think of one this morning, which I was told at school, which wasn't that many years ago. So I think this goes back even further. But if you did something wrong in school, or the teacher thought you were going to do, he or she might say, "Woe betide you if you X. Woe betide you if you leave the room before so-and-so or whatever doing something wrong." So, a bit of a reprimand there. And, of course, teachers used to be a lot more strict in there. Certainly after the war, certainly before the war, but probably up to the 70s, I should think. But anyway, there's a lot of things happening in schools these days some people disagree with, and some of the curriculum and what's taught these days. There's a lot of controversy in it, which is why some people I know are now homeschooling their children. They're not too keen on subjects like gender neutrality and things like that being taught. Certainly to those under 18. Anyway, it's all happening. It's supposed to be seen as progress in the country. But I don't know if this is much progress or very influential to the wider world. But anyway, everybody's got their opinion. We may look at some of these topics, these tough topics at some point. But let me know if anything you are interested in, anything pressing in your mind, anything you really would like to see or hear me talk about. And hopefully I'll have a few places, certainly places of interest you might like to visit at some point as well. Those of you from overseas, perhaps without knowledge of England, might find that very interesting as before. Well, thank you very much for joining me here today. Do tell your friends, because I'm sure they might find some of my content quite interesting. Well, all it needs for me to say is now, have a very peaceful, reflective Lent. And hopefully I'll speak to you before Easter. God bless you. Bye-bye now. This has been BBRC Britain and English. Well, just as a footnote here, as a new focus and hopefully some edifying information, and those of you who are Christians will no doubt enjoy the selection and the broad variety, there's a new YouTube channel called BBJC Living Faith available, which was set up about nearly a month ago now. So if you'd like to have a look at that, do consult BBJC Living Faith, another YouTube channel, a totally different selection, a different focus, and that's available now. Bye-bye now.